One of those days where Tom Masway puts in a lot of effort on the show prep, and then about an hour before the show, you just kind of throw the show prep out the window.
At least for the second hour, yeah.
One topic just becomes topic A, B, and C, and it's what everybody's talking about. It's what everybody wants to know about. And honestly, I've been hearing nothing but speculation since it broke.
And innuendo.
I was meeting with the morning show after their show today, and we saw it starting to trend a little bit on the news. If you haven't heard, Lions cornerback Cam Sutton is currently wanted for domestic violence and aggravated assault in the state of Florida. And we were sitting there. The tweet came out from the county sheriff down in Florida, and this is what Warrant Wednesday. We're like, wait, is this kind of fake? Like a Warrant Wednesday? This is what you guys do on social media? We didn't know. We didn't want to jump ahead of the curve, start talking about something before we actually knew.
Very smart.
This is a healthy accusation, right? This is a life-changing accusation. So we wanted to make sure that we had our end button up at Woodward Sports before we started to go with it, and now. You see Dave Burkett, you see Kyle Meineke, you see all the reliable Lion sources, Matt Broder, our very own Matt Broder. He's reaching out. You know, we called the police department through their Twitter to make sure that was an actual thing, and it's real. Yeah. And this is the weird part about it. Can you throw that up one more time so I can read what Dave Burkett said? He says he's on the phone with. So Dave did the exact same thing we did. He called the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Public information officer said at this time, Cam Sutton, that plays for the Lions, as a warrant has been issued for his arrest. And then you saw the Lions recently. They released their statement, which is about as brevity as you can get on any statement. It says, we become aware of the ongoing legal situation involving Cam Sutton this morning. We will continue to monitor the situation, and we will not have any further comment at this time, which is pretty much a corporate way of saying we don't know enough and we're not putting ourselves in a liable position.
The main word was they found out today.
Yes.
So what people are saying, his contract became official last week. He gets guaranteed money. I don't know now, but there might be some stipulation in the contract, but we'll see.
There definitely is easy sense to the what's in those contracts. And Braylon, I'm sure you know better than any of us because you've signed those contracts.
100%.
When something like this comes down, as a player, as Cam Sutton, you know that you are in deep violation for the money that's coming to you. Yeah. You know that this decision is going to change everything for you, and it's a tragic situation all the way around.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, usually in situations like this, there are nullifiers in your contract, the nullifiers, things like this. When you do things against the franchise, against the organization, they can nullify your contract and not have to pay you anything. And then in the NFL, in terms of the salary cap, they won't be hit, they won't be charged with dead money, or they won't be penalized for the money because of the situation. It's a legal matter and it's a serious matter. Let's start here.
Right.
Why don't we do this?
There's a lot to unpack.
It's so much to unpack.
Right.
Before you guys go, did we put up the one that said it is strangulation?
No, I was going to get to that.
Yeah, I have that tweet if we want to put that up.
That's what the official police report said, you know, because there's been speculation, and that's what we were going to talk about. There's Dave Burkett talking again. But the police report has strangulation on it. Cam Sutton is wanted for domestic battery. No, but you could see the actual charges. Easy sent that. Maybe I can find that and I'll send that to you, Pete. But there's been speculation. You've heard that he threw a woman out of a third-story room in a house.
I knew that was BS.
And then you see the picture of the house. It doesn't have a third story. So this is
Cam Sutton ain't living in that house.
This is where, as a fan and as a reporter, it kind of gets kind of weird because now you're just hearing hearsay. Like, but on the police report, it says strangulation, so we can assume at least that that's the charge.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, like you said, third-story floor, that sounded a little far-fetched, but, hey, you always have to just take it with a grain of salt. Then it came out the strangulation. That's what's actually on the police report, so that's not what we're dealing with. Now, look, I always believe this, man. It's not because I'm a football player. This is just because how I live life. It's supposed to be this way. Innocent till proven guilty.
Yep.
Innocent till proven guilty. We've seen a lot of situations, and this is the report that tells you it is strangulation. Correction, Sutton. This is the HCSO. This is down in Hillsdale County. Correction, Sutton charge update. Cam Sutton is wanted for domestic battery by strangulation. It was originally relayed as aggravated battery. Appreciate that, Pete. So, innocent until proven guilty. We don't know. We've seen situations before where women cry wolf. Or situations happen where it takes a while to get to the real details of a thing. Sometimes it takes as long as a year, 2, and you realize that a guy is innocent or a person is innocent. With that being said, Maz, there's one thing I always know. When someone runs, it is not a good sign.
No.
It is not a good sign. We don't know if he's actually running. They say he's on the run. They say there's a warrant out for his arrest.
I hate that.
That's the part. I mean, but it's Florida. Florida is such a tricky place too. Like nothing good happens in Florida. The part where he's on the run is a part that has me kind of like, all right, there's something to this. There's some merit to this. There's something true. Because innocent people don't do what, Stick?
They don't run.
They don't run. An innocent person in a situation, you go to the police department with the girl. You say, hey, look, this is BS. You get your attorney. You see what's going on. You don't run. You don't run, but apparently he's been on the go now since Wednesday or Thursday. So
yeah, and I'm not
doesn't
even
bode
going to
well.
begin to try to get in Cam Sutton's head.
Nope, not at all.
Maybe he's scared, and that's why he runs. That the possibility too, facing the law in any situation.
Yeah.
And you know this, sometimes even if you are innocent, you can some things look bad optic-wise, and you can be perceived as guilty. And that's what's really tough, because I always want to give somebody the benefit of the doubt that I would want.
Yeah.
But I also probably wouldn't put myself in this type of position either. What I want to take the angle at with you, though, specifically, Braylon, is because you've been in these NFL locker rooms. I'm sure you've been there when some players have had legal issues. I don't remember off the top of my head. But how does this affect the locker room as a teammate, and also just as a culture? Like, are you guys on the phone with each other like, damn, man, you hear about Cam, you see what's going on? Are teammates trying to reach out for them? What kind of shock waves does this send through a locker room?
Yeah, I think the initial thing is support. I think you initially come from a place of support, especially when it's alleged and it's a situation where it's not known to be true. As of now, you haven't talked to the girl. We haven't even heard from the girlfriend, if you will. So in that locker room, man, you want to support your brothers. Like, you guys go to war together.
Right.
I know people don't like that metaphor, but they've been using football
Get
for
over
years.
it. Right.
Thank you, please get over it. Like, you go to war together on the field, off season. You guys are in each other's weddings. Like, you learn your kids play football together or play soccer and go to school together. So you come from a place of support. And I'm pretty sure the Lions have reached out to, or Lions players have reached out to him and said, hey, what's going on? Is there anything you need?
Right.
Let me know. I can be there for you as a brother. I mean, this is a tough situation.
What about like a Brad Holmes, who's the GM of the team? He's in charge of the contract, which, you know, this is a domestic violence thing, and we're talking about contracts, which, whatever. If you want to be offended by that, fine, but this is the cost of doing business as well. This is part of it. The only reason we're talking about Cam Sutton is because he's an athlete.
Because he plays for Detroit Lions.
Exactly. If this was Bill from down the street, we would never even hear about this. But if a Brad Holmes or a GM, what do you think this does to their mindset of, man, I love this guy, I signed this guy, and we know for Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell to sign people, you got to be a Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell guy. So you already know this is not just a business thing to them, it's a personal thing, but he's got to handle it like a business thing. So how does a GM approach this?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to do what's right for the franchise. Look, they love Cam Sutton. They love every player on the team. You heard Brad Holmes say that in the locker room after they won the North. I love every player in this locker room is the exact word and verbiage I believe that he used. But at the same time, their loyalty, their allegiance, Maz, it's to the Detroit Lions. It's to how the Detroit Lions organization looks. It's how the franchise is being run. And if there's a situation like here where if there's even a speckle of truth in this situation, then you got to move on from Cam. And that's what they want to do. They don't want to have these type of guys in the because this affects like women, the boom in women supporters as it relates to watching the game of football, supporting the Detroit Lions, going to games. The boom has happened over the last 5 years. I mean, you saw just alone last year what Taylor Swift did for that game. So now you got women that will be, wait, you got this domestic violence guy on the team? Like, you kept him, you signed him, you wait. So that's another angle. It's all about money. It's all about the ops. It's all about the optics.
Yeah, but there's so many players. I don't want to say so many, but there's a handful of players in the NFL that have,
Prescott's got stuff hanging over his head.
You got Joe Mixon, who punched a girl in college. You got,
Deshaun Watson.
Kareem Hunt, who took that girl out of the elevator.
Kicked her.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Deshaun Watson. Like, he's still in the NFL.
That's all alleged. Like, I have video of the other
True.
ones.
Okay.
Deshaun Watson, once again, until
Right.
it's guilty in a court of law, guilty by public opinion, we can all agree it's suspicious what happened with Deshaun Watson.
I give you that.
But am I going to put it on the level? I saw Joe Mixon punch a girl at the bar. Like, I saw
It was
Kareem
a
Hunt.
McDonald's, actually.
Either way, he
My eyes
punched
didn't
her.
work that day.
Right. But Maz, what do you
Yeah.
want to say about
Like
this?
Cam Sutton is not. This is not his MO. This is not a guy you look at. We've spoken to this guy. He's been with us now for a whole season. Came over from the Steelers. Never had anything bad happen to him then. So I'm gonna wait and see what the heck happened. What's happening here? It just doesn't look like it's. It doesn't seem like this guy can do that. Coming from a family of all women, he better not have done that. And if he did that, I don't think he'll be a Lion anymore. I don't think he'll be a Detroit Lion anymore if they prove he did what they're saying he did.
Once again, you know, it is alleged. At this point, we
Right.
don't know if it's true. So we here at Woodward Sports, whether it's Stick, whether it's Maz, myself, we are operating from the space that we're waiting to get more details. 100%. Just looking at it from this point, though, it's crazy. The world is crazy, man.
Yes, it is.